You can put absolutely everything you have into a climb, your energy, your time, your absolute maximum effort. But often, the goals we are killing ourselves to reach originated somewhere outside of our own skin. Most people spend decades checking off a socially approved list of milestones. You secure the career that sounds impressive at dinner parties. You earn the salary that satisfies your parents' expectations. You hit the peak, look around, and find an overwhelming sense of emptiness. Vadim Zeland identifies this in his reality transurfing framework as a specific kind of failure. It is the wholesale adoption of goals implanted by your environment, leading to a destination that feels strangely uninhabited once you arrive. This feeling of hollowness signals a theft of your own ambition. You have reached a summit, but you have done so using a map drawn by someone else. Zeland argues that we are constantly surrounded by pendulums. These are external societal structures that pull at your attention, enticing you with promises of prestige, exclusivity, and status. Look at this diagram comparing two types of motivation. On the left, we have an extrinsic loop, the pursuit of external validation. As the pressure bar rises, the fuel gauge depletes. On the right is an intrinsic loop, a self-sustaining circuit driven by personal fulfillment. Modern psychology, specifically self-determination theory, identifies extrinsic drive as a primary predictor of burnout. Because this drive relies on external rewards, it eventually runs out of the borrowed fuel required to maintain the effort. Intrinsic goals operate on internal resonance. The effort required to pursue them actually regenerates your energy, allowing you to sustain immense difficulty without reaching emotional bankruptcy. The diagnostic difference between a true goal and a false one is the emotional vector underneath it. You're either moving toward the expansion of your own joy, or you are running away from the threat of being invisible. To escape borrowed ambition, Zeland shifts the focus from the destination to the door, the highly specific, personalized method of approach that fits your nature. The door represents a mode of action aligning precisely with your individual personality. It is the intersection where your natural inclinations meet the task's requirements. When your path matches your existential wiring, you stop fighting the environment. External obstacles tend to dissolve because the resistance from forcing an unnatural fit has been eliminated. Operating in this aligned state changes your perception. You begin to notice and act on opportunities that were previously obscured by the static of trying to meet external expectations. Progress within your own door feels like the release of tension. It is the absence of internal friction, where the momentum of the work carries you forward. Reaching this state of momentum requires resolving an internal split. On the left, the mind operates through rigid grids of social conditioning and strategy. On the right, the heart holds fluid waves of authentic desire and instinct. This divide is a permanent background condition for many people. It manifests as a daily conflict between the practical path you are supposed to take and the activities that actually make you feel alive. Operating with this divided system drains your capacity. One half of your effort goes toward the goal, while the other half manages the internal resistance. But when the heart's desire and the mind's logic pull together in the same direction, that internal fissure disappears. This is the true state of unity. When your heart desires a direction and your mind fully agrees with the choice, you eliminate the primary source of self-sabotage. This internal harmony generates a quality of purposeful momentum. Outsiders often mistake this for raw talent or luck, but it is simply the result of moving without fighting yourself. This alignment of internal desire and external action mirrors the findings of behavioral science. On the left, self-determination theory warns that extrinsic expectations lead to exhaustion. On the right, Zeland provides a framework for identifying the goal and door that belongs specifically to you. While clinical research is excellent at diagnosing why we feel burned out by external goals, it often leaves a gap when it comes to the practical process of discovering an alternative. Zeland's framework acts as a bridge, offering a way to isolate your personal frequency from the surrounding noise. It provides a set of diagnostic tools to help you identify which ambitions are yours and which are merely borrowed. Happiness, in this context, is the feeling of aliveness generated while walking through your authentic door. It is the immediate feedback of being on the right path. If you strip away the prestige of your job title and the expectations of your social circle, a specific direction remains that belongs exclusively to you. The door to that goal is rarely the most obvious or the most highly contested path. It doesn't usually come with a crowd of competitors trying to force their way through. Aligning your life with that specific path turns existence into a self-sustaining process. The results of that alignment frequently exceed the narrow version of success you were originally taught to chase. Stop for a moment and evaluate the exact location where you are applying your life's effort. Consider the path you are on and ask yourself, are you standing in front of your own door?